Right, quick little video about materials and where to find them and how to use a laser cutter. So I'm going to do a quick little tour around the workshop where you can find materials, explain the etiquette of how we expect you to use them, and the housekeeping as well. So start with the wood. We've got sheet materials here, so large sheets of MDF and plywood here, MDF's generally here, and chipboard. And then offcuts here. Now you're welcome to help yourself to offcuts here, but please do two things. First of all, be efficient with your use of materials. So look out for that piece is just big enough, or just a bit bigger than what you want, so you can cut down and we just don't end up with a load of offcuts that we don't know what to do with. But also, when you put offcuts back, cut them neatly. Put them back neatly, please. Just take an extra 5 seconds. It will just save us hours and hours when hundreds of students have been putting things back neatly. So woods around here, you'll find plastic, big sheets of plastic down there. We ask you to come and ask before helping yourself to stuff like that. Generally A4 is a kind of benchmark, what size. Anything smaller than A4 you can help yourself to. I say that as a benchmark. It varies because obviously a piece of A4 aluminium plate that thick is going to cost about 50 quid. So we really do want you to discuss what you want to do with it before helping with yourself, something like that. But obviously MDF is going to be quite a bit cheaper. So it's not as black and white as any material under A4, but just come and ask if in doubt. And please, please be efficient with where you're cutting it. Don't cut it in the middle, and put a neat offcut back, so don't leave jaggedy, useless bits in the store as we often find. In this box here we've got sheet metals, generally they're aluminium. One thing to be careful with is sharp edges. When they're sliced, cut on the guillotine for example, they can have razor sharp edges. So careful when you rummage here. And again, don't help yourself to big sheets like this because they are very expensive. They're great for certain applications, but we've had students just help themselves to things and use them for baseboards as you know, bases for models. Unbeknownst to them, it's quite a lot of money that they could have just easily used a piece of MDF for. So come and ask if in doubt. Down on this side we've got a row of tape on a bar like this. You take it out, just help yourself to whichever tape you want. It's a bit fiddly if you want to get one up there. Generally we try and keep double-sided masking tape and gaffer tape, the three most widely used tapes at this end. Over on this side we've got various screws, nuts and bolts, washers, that kind of thing here, O-rings. And then drawers full of, in amongst the tools we've got various random screws and fittings, hinges, mirror plates, knockdown fittings, that kind of thing just down there. Just so you see, over on this side, up here by my desk, we've got machine screws, M3 to M6. Also by my desk you'll find the Kosh cupboard, where you'll find super glues and wood glues, various different solvents. Onto the store, here's where you'll find the plastics that you can help yourself to. So these boxes here, all the small amounts you're welcome to help yourself to, but again I really do want to stress that we want to see you take your time to measure a piece that fits. So I'll show you in a minute when laser cutting you want to measure the workpiece you're going to cut and come and select a piece that comes to fit. Now just be also careful, like the sheet metals, these can be pretty sharp where the plastic's been snapped off, so careful when you rummage, just touching these almost as sharp as glass shards, so do be careful there. Underneath you've got cardboard. Again, just all too often I see people just cutting out something like that as an offcut and just putting it there. Put it in the bin, use your judgment what is useful for the next person, because we do get inundated with rubbish in here. Blue foam, again, there's some useful bits, some offcuts, but they're still quite big for certain things. So if you're going to be cutting out a craft knife, by all means cut it on the top here, but if there's another piece, let's say that piece that fits, use that first. Because someone might come along and look for something that is 22 centimetres long. Sure enough, this is 17 because someone cut off a little piece like that. And we are overwhelmed with little pieces in here. So do please go easy on using large sheets. Also, some second years will, you know, they'll sculpt out their concept models. That's what it's here for. But bear in mind, it's both cost and to the environment, cost of a college to you ultimately, and the environment is quite high. It is about £100 a box, and it does create a lot of microplastics. So use it wisely and make products, make models that have worth to them. Don't just waste this material. These are formers for vac forms. You'll probably make your own former if you're vac forming a design. We've got thicker plastics down there as well, thicker acrylics. These are all generally likely to be acrylic, but you still have to watch in the laser cutter, make sure that no PVC has been contaminated in that stack. At the top of the shelf we've got various materials like Corex up here and medium density foam here. Big sheets of blue foam, again don't help yourself to those, we tend to cut them. Apart from anything, it's quite dangerous cutting stuff that thick on the bandsaw, so leave it to us please. And then various tubes and pipes here, what you might find. We've got a big bag of soft foam here at the back, and outside in the corral there is one of the blue bins is full of foam as well, so we've got a lot of soft foam. But yeah, again, help yourself, but put it back neatly please. And then finally, by Sim's Corner, we've got these two boxes which have various fabrics in them. This looks like it's got a variety of polyester type insulated materials, but yeah, there's various canvas type fabrics. Quite a medley of fabrics in here to be honest, but you might find what you need, a bit of ripstock for example. So there you go, there's materials. You'll find acrylic rods and bars, various plastic billets for turning. Again, please ask before helping yourself to long lengths of this. Ask yourself, is it really a job for acrylic where a piece of cheaper wooden dowel might do, for example? We've got loads of dowels. And again, don't help yourself to a long length of dowel if you're just going to cut a stubby little thing. There's loads of offcuts here to check first in this box. We've got metal billets for turning on the lathe. Now, you're definitely going to be consulting us in the first place before using the lathe, so these are for turning. Obviously we're not going to just let you straight onto the lathe without any discussion and training first. We've got various ropes, straps, webbing, elastic, both in there and here as well. Hot melt glue guns there, and the glue sticks are just above here, so they're in this box here. Arch drawers, obviously you can help yourself to if you're concept modelling, whatnot. Flexi ply and balsa wood here, so if you're wanting to create curvature in wood, both the laminating ply, the flexi ply is quite good for that. Over by the fire door we've got more plastics here, so there's thick sheets of acrylic here which tend to be used for CNC milling. Yeah, well, you'll consult us if you want to do one of those milling tasks. So yeah, really thick pieces here, various other bits of acrylic here. Generally the sheet materials on this side aren't acrylic, so don't go putting them in the laser cutter. One other thing to bear in mind, if you're putting materials back, keep an eye out for this orange sticker here. So that's the door clearance. We want to make sure nothing covers that line because it's a fire risk if this fire escape is blocked. Then on the other side of the wall we've got metal bars, rods, angle iron, that kind of thing. Generally not the case always, but this is mild steel. This should be tube on this side. This here. And aluminium here. Again, do come and ask if you help yourself to anything long. Little offcuts like this, by all means help yourself to little parts in this bucket, but please, it's quite precarious. It might take a bit of time just to put it back neatly because I know it's all quite precariously balanced there.